Hello and welcome back to this third and final session in the Fall 2023 Gather Bible Study on Holy Places. I'm Megan Johnston-Ailabuni, and thank you for walking through this Bible study series with me this fall. In the first session in September, we thought about home as a holy place. And last month in October, we considered sanctuary as a holy place. We're finishing the study this month by thinking about pilgrimage as a holy place. And as we do that, we'll not only think about how particular destinations or locations can be places of pilgrimage where we seek to encounter God or are encountered by God once we get there, but also what it means for God to meet us on the way, for the journey itself to be a holy place of encounter with the divine. And so we'll look at that in several different biblical texts. The first one will be the story of what's maybe not always thought of as a pilgrimage, but Jesus' Palm Sunday journey into the city of Jerusalem, which certainly was a place of pilgrimage and still is today. Behind me, you'll see a palm branch that is left over from this year's Palm Sunday procession. Not only do we at Redeemer have our own Palm Sunday worship and procession at the church, but each afternoon of Palm Sunday in Jerusalem, on the Mount of Olives itself, there is a procession of thousands and thousands of Christian worshipers, both local Christians and visitors from all over the world, who come to wave palm branches as they walk on foot from the Mount of Olives down into the valley and up into the Old City, as Jesus and his disciples did on that Palm Sunday. We'll think about what that pilgrimage journey meant as Jesus came in, why he was met with such jubilation from people who either were familiar with his ministry and the incredible things Jesus had done, or who were bringing their own expectations for who the Messiah was supposed to be, and how Jesus in some ways subverted and didn't meet the expectations some had for him. As Christians, we know that Palm Sunday is the beginning of Holy Week, and so we know that this pilgrimage journey led into the events of Jesus' arrest, his suffering in crucifixion, and his death on the cross. But as Christians, we are also people of Easter. And so we know that the journey does not end there, that the journey of Jesus into Jerusalem and to the cross continued to the empty tomb, where Jesus rose and where God defeated the power of death. And so this pilgrimage of Jesus into Jerusalem was not only a journey from life to death, but a journey through death to new life that makes us people of resurrection even today and even now. We'll also think about later that same Easter afternoon or evening, the two disciples on the road to Emmaus, walking away from Jerusalem, leaving behind a place of pilgrimage and walking into what they thought was an uncertain and hopeless future. And how in that moment, not as they were setting out on a pilgrimage to encounter God, and not as they were filled with faith and strong in their convictions, but when they were at their lowest point, God met them there. The risen Jesus met them on the road in ways they did not even recognize at first. But that is where God found them. That is where Jesus was made known to them in conversation and in the breaking of the bread. And so it's a reminder that even when we are feeling at our lowest, feeling our most disoriented, our most uncertain about what is our direction and what is the path that we are on or that we are taking, those can be moments when God meets us and meets us with the presence, the power, and the love of Jesus in a really powerful way. And then we'll also think about what it means for the pilgrimage journey to change us, to change our understanding, to change our future, to change everything that happens afterwards, as it did for the Magi. And so we'll remember how the Magi took their own pilgrimage, not as Jews, or certainly not yet as Christians, but as religious and national and ethnic foreigners, probably from Persia, who followed astrological signs that pointed to a promised king in the Holy Land, and how that pilgrimage that brought them to pay homage to Jesus also, through an encounter with God, sent them home by a different road. So we'll think about what it means for the sake of the justice of God's reign, to which God calls us as members of Christ's body, to go home by a different road, to be changed by our encounters with the risen Jesus, with the Holy God, in ways that change everything about how our lives unfold from there. This has been an incredible journey and pilgrimage of a sort, even just going through this Bible study. And so I hope so far as you have been on this pilgrimage, you have found in moments of reflection or prayer, in moments of holy conversation or togetherness, those places where the Holy Spirit is speaking also to you and creating holy places of encounter in your own life, in your own community, wherever you go, and in ways that open you up to the possibilities of where God is seeking to create holy places and spaces in your own community that you can also be a part of. And so my prayer for you as you complete this final session and this fall Bible study series is that wherever you are, you know it to be a holy place because God is with you. And God is with us here in Palestine and Israel, with the local church and its persistence in faith and its witness to the world. We are together. We are, even across these digital divides and virtual distances, even from a recorded video to the moment when you are hearing and seeing this, we are still here together now. And that is a holy place too.